Tonight, KATU and Fred Meyer Broadway in Portland present Disney's The Lion King, Behind the Curtain.
The Lion King is coming to Portland. Hi everybody, I'm Carl Click, and when I say Lion King, I'm talking about the Tony Award-winning Broadway musical, The Lion King. It's huge, it's dynamic, and you know, when it opened on Broadway in 1997, it raised the bar for all the Broadway musicals that would follow. It's all coming to Portland, opens September 9th at the Keller Auditorium. So we've come to Chicago. We're at the Cadillac Palace Theater, where the Lion King production here, the national tour, it's wrapping up. The cast and crew are ready to leave the Windy City and come to the Rose City.
In our next half hour, we'll take you behind the scenes and show you the elaborate sets and how they work, and see the wonderful wardrobe and the masks and puppets that make the Lion King so special on stage. We're also going to meet the Oregon man whose creative genius is behind all those masks and puppets. And you're going to meet the stars of the show, the actors and artists who make the circle of life come to life on stage.
Now, you remember the story of the Lion King, but maybe you've never seen it like this.
He lives in you.
The Lion King is the journey of Simba, from cub to king of the pride on the plains of Africa. That's the story on stage. It's the story and Oscar-winning music we enjoyed in Disney's animated film. But the Broadway musical is so much more. It's about daring in design, inspiration in innovation. In 1996, unheralded director Julie Taymor took the project on for Disney, and she blew Broadway away. Her masks and puppets and costumes did what many thought was impossible for the stage, bringing the animal world to life. Rufus Bonds plays Mufasa in the touring company.
I remember when I first saw the show in New York, and I'm in the business, and I was sitting there in the audience, and when the show began and all of the people and the duality of the people and the animals were coming down the aisles, I was taken aback, and I tingled, you know, and I'm in the business.
The duality is that for a while we see the actor and animal, but just for a while. Soon the genius of the costume and the artistry of the performers help us suspend disbelief and then embrace a timeless story.
People genuinely say that it's a spectacle. And you know, I'd heard that before I was a part of The Lion King, and I'm like, a spectacle, that's a word you don't hear a lot. But it really is.
The show still just, you know, amazes everyone, no matter where we go. No matter where we go, it's the same response. You have to watch yourself that you don't get, you know, sort of complacent about it. But then you look at the audience every night and you see this sort of tears and laughing and holding children and clapping really hard every night, every city. Doesn't fail.
Of course, one of the things that sets the Lion King production apart is the puppetry. Some of the puppets are small, like Simba here. Others are huge. But the man behind these puppets is world-renowned. His name's Michael Curry, and he works out of Scappoose, Oregon. Our Helen Raptis paid him a visit.
Asking Lion King designer Michael Curry to reveal his favorite character is akin to asking a father to name a favorite child. That said, he's especially attached to the cheetah.
It's just this great, feminine, ephemeral animal that you very clearly see this dancer sort of miming this movement, but you are easily drawn into the character of the cheetah. And we achieve that many times in the show, but that particular one has just the right blend of balance of person to puppet.
This award-winning artist says puppet freely now, but that wasn't always the case. You see, years ago, when his sculptures first took on movement, admiring art reviewers got him a bit heated up.
It was the media that first started calling my sculptural work puppetry.
And how'd you feel about that?
I was incensed. I thought it was the biggest insult I had ever heard.
Clearly, it's an insult no more. His inspiration for the Lion King stage characters came from his immense and lifelong love of animals. And he and director Julie Taymor weren't about to have big furry costumes running around on stage.
I find a wonderful magic in the duality of having the expression of a human actor and the symbol of the sculpture at the same time. And one thing that's interesting is that today's audience can process seeing the puppeteer and the puppet, where I don't think that 40 years ago it would have been the same dynamic with the audience. With The Lion King, it was really a predetermined interest that I had in animals that was really a wonderful exercise in how to fold that story, which is a very symbolic story about coming of age.
This hands-on genius also came of age, learning about mechanics at a plywood mill in Oregon.
I grew up with a fantastic grandfather and father who were genius-level builders of automation, and in the logging trade, loggers were notorious for building what they needed to make the machine. They made their own machines. My grandfather made his own cars. We, of course, built our own homes. And so the way in which things are put together, Oregonians seem to have been exposed to this level of artisanry and craftsmanship and hands-on. And when I went to New York, it was very interesting because I found a very high level of conceptual thought, but very little in the way of crafts.
His unique marriage of sculpture and engineering is a worldwide hit. And now Michael Curry Design Incorporated has grown to a 55,000 square foot studio. He could have located his workspace anywhere, but he chose to build on farmland in Scappoose with views of cow fields and trees.
You'll be controlling the head with this lever, and very exposed. The puppeteer will be, letting his body, actually overemphasizing the movement. But as we move the vehicle, you can see that it causes the legs to move automatically.
This incredibly hardworking husband and dad has been married for 22 years. His daily routine involves taking his 2 kids to school in the morning, working at his studio for 8 hours, having dinner with the family, and tucking the kids in bed. Then, when everyone is sound asleep, he heads into his home office, and he's at it again from 10 until 2 in the morning.
My finest conceptual ideas happen when everybody else is sleeping. I have this bizarre thing that when everybody else is sleeping, I think that all of their creative stuff is mine for that moment. I get it all.
Bizarre? No. Incredibly amazing? Yes. Just like his ideas that come to life on stage.
And stay with us for more of Michael Curry's inspirational work on The Lion King, the masks and the puppets, when we come back.
An elephant graveyard is no place for a young prince.
An elephant what?
Oops.
Whoa!
Oh dear, I've said too much.
And welcome back. We are still behind the scenes of The Lion King. Now we're in the puppet shop for the show. You probably recognize Mufasa. This is the mask for the king in The Lion King. And with us is Ann Salt. She is the puppet supervisor for the whole show, the production that's coming to Portland. In this show, that's a huge job.
Yes, we're actually responsible for maintaining all the puppets and masks in the show, which is over 250. So we have quite a busy job. And a lot of our work is, things wear out, things break, we get little paint chips, we replace, if the feathers get crumbled, we replace the feathers. These are all made of carbon fiber, so sometimes they break or crack. They're very fragile. We try and keep them as lightweight. That's
the most important thing, I think, for an actor, is that this looks to me like it's a big, huge piece of wood, but it's not, right?
That's right, that's correct. It's actually made of carbon fiber, which is the same material that's used in racing cars.
It's very light.
Very lightweight, and we paint it to make it look like wood.
And how does the actor put this on now? Can I do that?
This actual piece is connected to a head mount.
Okay. And it almost feels like it's paper mache. I mean, I know it's not, but that's how light it feels.
That's right.
So an actor wouldn't get tired wearing this. And wow, how do I look as the king?
Fantastic.
I can't sing. So Anne, introduce us to this bird.
This is